Welcome back to United USA 2020 and beyond. From some of the smallest complex technology
see all
to
the
some of the
possibilities.
biggest technology. Absolutely incredible. Well, I'll go ahead and post the link in the description, but here's some highlights in a video that breaks it down as Malaysia now jumps back into the world's top 10 tallest buildings. Yep, check it out.
Will stand as a monument for the country, with cultural symbolism reflected in nearly every element of its design. Rising beside Merdeka Stadium, where the country declared independence in 1957, the crystalline facade is derived from a traditional songket pattern that's intended to reflect the diversity and legacy of Malaysia. The building's 160-metre spire creates a silhouette emulating the iconic image of Malaysia's first Prime Minister as independence was declared, and the word Merdeka itself means independent in English.
So there they are, building the world's tallest building in Malaysia. I thought the one in Dubai and China topped it. Well, it seems like there's always a bigger fish. Very, very interesting, though. Check this out as well. Just a little recap. All right, roll tape.
Of the Burj Khalifa in 2010 was a significant milestone for mankind. It marked the first time a habitable building had ever surpassed 600 meters in height, and the structure became the world's first megatall skyscraper. The excitement led many to declare that we'd entered the age of the megatall, and that by 2020, at least 8 buildings would lay claim to this title. But from all the ideas put forward, only a handful ever actually made it to construction. 6 were never completed, 3 were scaled back, and only 3 actually made it to completion. Of the only 2 megatalls classed as officially under construction at the moment by the Council on Tall Buildings and Urban Habitat, the status of each project couldn't be more different. While the future of Saudi Arabia's Jeddah Tower is unclear, with no major works occurring since 2018, prospects for the other scheme look much more certain. Set to become the world's second tallest building when it completes in early 2022, but with the global economy now in a period of reduced growth and the need for towers of such immense height being called into question, Malaysia's Merdeka PMB 118 could well be the world's last megatall skyscraper. Reducing in size as they rise, these megacolumns are tied back to the core using a structural steel system that's made up of 6 belt trusses and 3 outrigger zones to create a rigid structure capable of resisting lateral and seismic forces. Covering 3 stories, the outrigger floors also form an important part of the building's transportation network, housing sky lobbies and transfer zones for the high-speed double-decker elevator system, which will move 15,000 people a day when the skyscraper opens. This structural system allowed architects Fender Katsalidis to keep the floor plates largely unchanged throughout, and create highly efficient layouts for both the commercial and hotel components of the building. After a largely event-free construction phase, work was temporarily halted in early 2020, pushing completion of the project back 6 months into early 2022. While Merdeka PMB 118 is a near certainty to complete, it's already structurally topped out and its developer is set to occupy the majority of its commercial space, the building's journey to this point highlights one of the biggest challenges facing all megatall schemes. Initially proposed in 2010, when the world was emerging from the global financial crisis, it took 4 years for the relevant approvals and financing to be obtained, and a further 6 years of construction to complete the building. Though this is typical for a project of such scale, more than a decade of design and construction means it's almost inevitable that something in that time will disrupt global markets and make any building not already occupied a burden for developers. Such risk makes cancelling a project altogether and accepting a small loss more appealing than continuing to pour billions into something that might remain empty for years after completion and have to back them. While it's of course possible for another megatall skyscraper to be built in the future, we'll likely need to make a quantum leap in the way we build these awe-inspiring structures.
Between the Khalifa Tower in Dubai and then you got the other tower in China, was it Shanghai or Hong Kong? I mean, you got this one in Malaysia. They're all trying pretty amazing each other. Imagine what else we'll see. I guess it's all possible. Like and share.